What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Release Radar Trailers, where we track every major release before anyone else. Today, we're doing something different. We're going from the most underrated hidden gems all the way up to the most anticipated film of 2026. 8 releases, 1 list, starting small and finishing massive. Let's get into it.
Strap in.
Starting at number 8, with the animated gem that most people haven't heard of yet, but should. Anotherworld follows Gudo, a soul keeper who guides human souls into their next life. When he befriends a young girl named Yuri, he discovers that her untimely death has left her cursed with unresolved rage and regret. As Yuri's soul teeters on the edge of annihilation, Gudo must stop her from unleashing destruction on both the human world and the spirit realm. A Hong Kong animated feature distributed by GKIDS, the same company behind Studio Ghibli films in North America. Painterly watercolor environments, deeply emotional storytelling, and a story about grief that hits harder than anything else on this list. June 5 in select theaters. Find this one.
鬼知牙生咗出嚟之後，就翻唔到轉頭㗎啦。
呢度我都會揾到你，我應承你。我好恐怖啊！感覺原來係咁嘅。
Number 7 is the psychological horror that's flown completely under the radar. Affection follows Ellie Carter, Jessica Roth, who has never met the man who calls herself her husband, doesn't recognize the girl who calls her mother, and can't remember the life she is told is her own. Afflicted by violent seizures that reset her memory without warning, she is trapped in a cyclical nightmare, struggling to uncover the horrifying truth of her existence before she forgets it all over again. Directed by B.T. Meza in his feature debut, starring Joseph Cross and Juliana Lane alongside Roth, a psychological horror that blends memory loss, body horror, and sci-fi into something genuinely unsettling. Already in select theaters since May 8th. Go find it. Number 6 is the A24 origin story that food lovers and cinephiles have been quietly buzzing about. Tony follows a 19-year-old Anthony Bourdain, Dominic Sisa, who travels to Provincetown and stumbles into the chaotic world of a restaurant kitchen, setting off a summer that will shape the course of his entire life, with Antonio Banderas, Amelia Jones, Leo Woodall, and Dagmara Dominchik in the supporting cast. Directed by Matt Johnson, the filmmaker behind Blackberry, the origin story of the man who became the world's most famous chef and storyteller before he was anyone. A24, August 2026, The Kitchen Calls.
As a kid.
Every measure I got on fire. Wow, still so wild. Cold.
You know, something only you can do.
I was lost.
What's this?
Cold to me.
If anybody asks, I'm not a writer. I work in the kitchen.
Number 5 is the revenge thriller that's gonna blindside everyone. Motor City is set in 1970s Detroit. John Miller, Alan Ritchson, falls for a local gangster's girl. In retaliation, the gangster frames him and sends him to prison. Life destroyed, Miller plots a brutal revenge campaign. Here's the game changer. The film is almost entirely dialogue-free, a silent revenge thriller shot like the grittiest 70s music video ever made. Shailene Woodley, Ben Foster, and Pablo Schreiber co-star. Critics are calling it a supercharged blast and say Ritchson brings a certain brand of brute movie star charisma not seen since Arnold's heyday. July 24. 0 words, maximum fury. Number 4 is the horror event of the summer. Evil Dead Burn follows a woman who seeks solace with her in-laws in their secluded family home after the loss of her husband. As one by one they are transformed into deadites, turning the gathering into a family reunion from hell, she discovers that the vows she took in life live on even in death. directed by Sebastian Vonacek, personally hired by Sam Raimi after being blown away by his debut film Infested, starring Suhaila Yacoub, Hunter Duhan, and Tandy Wright. The director described it as a nasty film, one that hurts. July 10 in theaters, nowhere to hide.
Number 3 is the animated event of the summer for everyone. Minions and Monsters is the rambunctious, ridiculous, and totally true story of how the Minions conquered Hollywood, became movie stars, lost everything, unleashed monsters onto the world, and then banded together to save the planet from the mayhem they created. Voice cast: Allison Janney, Christoph Waltz, Jeff Bridges, Jesse Eisenberg, Zoe Deutsch, and Trey Parker, co-creator of South Park. The franchise has earned $5.6 billion globally. July 1 in theaters. Bring everyone!
Like a movie! Un movie de minions con monsters! Yachi unigiri! Okay. I'm Gary Orkham Olive. Let's go!
At number 2, Star Wars is back in theaters for the first time since 2019. The Mandalorian and Grogu, Pedro Pascal and Baby Grogu in their most epic adventure yet, facing Imperial warlords with the fate of the galaxy on the line. Directed by Jon Favreau, with Sigourney Weaver and Jeremy Allen White, filmed for IMAX. Pedro Pascal himself called it one of the greatest adventure films in cinema history. In theaters May 22nd, 2026. This is the way.
Oh!
Mandalorian, you will
The old protect the young.
And at number 1, the most anticipated film of 2026, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. His first film since Oppenheimer won Best Picture follows Odysseus on his 10-year journey home after the Trojan War, encountering the Cyclops, the Sirens, and the goddess Circe, rendered with minimal CGI and maximum ambition. The cast: Matt Damon as Odysseus, Tom Holland as Telemachus, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, Zendaya as Athena, Charlize Theron as Circe, Robert Pattinson, John Bernthal, Mia Goth, Lupita Nyong'o, and Benny Safdie. Shot on IMAX 70mm across Morocco, Greece, Italy, Scotland, Iceland, and Malta. Budget $250 million, the most expensive film of Nolan's career. Universal called it a visionary, once-in-a-generation cinematic masterpiece. July 17, IMAX 70mm. Defy the gods!
But you cannot control this.
stand between me and home.
Keep us straight!
And that's part 1. From the hidden gems to the biggest film of the year. Which one surprised you most? Drop it in the comments. Watch part 2, 7 more releases, including Find Your Friends on Shudder, Kraken from Norway, and more. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. This is Release Radar Trailers. See you tomorrow.